I'm fully prepared with everything I need for the Jay-Z documentary. The moment he sent that legal letter, I knew I had to let the world see who he really is. He and Diddy are cut from the same cloth. He just hides his arrogance and control behind a cleaner image. Our feud has lasted 20 years, and I know better than anyone what he's done in the shadows. I even suspect that so-called funeral bouquet wasn't Diddy's idea at all, but Jay-Z acting on his behalf. Back when Nicki Minaj posted that video of him wearing a pink wig, all I did was repost it, and he got so nervous he had his lawyers threaten me. In 2015, Nicki worked her off helping him build his platform, and he allegedly pocketed her $7.9 million in royalties. And then there's his fingerprints all over key incidents through the years, whether it's the elevator footage or the guest list at Diddy's parties. He was involved, clearly, but somehow he always walks away untouched. That's what he's best at, pulling strings behind the scenes while pretending to be spotless in public. And now that a corner of the darkness has been ripped open, I'm not stopping. Everything my team and I are doing isn't about attacking anyone, it's about making sure the truth can't be buried by him ever again.
For over 2 decades, one name has remained virtually immune to scandal. While others fell, he stood untouched. While controversies erupted around him, he walked away clean every single time. But that protection just shattered, and what's coming to light is forcing everyone to ask the question nobody dared to whisper before. How did he stay protected for so long?
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. He showed up as the that was with Big L. Yes. Big L was who put Jay-Z on. And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z doing songs with Biggie and building a working camaraderie with Honeycombs. And then Biggie died, Tupac died. There was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z. He will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting?
50 Cent just dropped a documentary that's sending shockwaves through the entire industry. And while everyone expected it to focus on Diddy, there's another name that keeps surfacing in ways that can't be ignored anymore. The connections run deeper than anyone realized. The timeline is more troubling than most people knew. And now, for the first time in his career, Jay-Z is facing the kind of scrutiny that used to bounce right off him. The armor's cracking, the questions are piling up, and the people who stayed silent for years are finally starting to talk. 50 Cent made it clear from day one that he kept his distance from Diddy's inner circle. He saw things that raised red flags immediately and drew a line that he never crossed. That conscious decision is exactly why he can speak so freely now, without hesitation, without fear of being caught in the blast radius. When allegations against Diddy went public, 50 said he learned about them the same way everyone else did, through media coverage. But here's the thing, none of it surprised him. He'd been warning people for years, keeping himself removed from that world intentionally, and now people are starting to understand why. But this goes way deeper than just Diddy. The beef between 50 Cent and Jay-Z has been simmering for 2 decades. It's not just competition, it's not just ego. There's real friction there, the kind that comes from fractured loyalty and watching someone operate in ways you fundamentally disagree with. And if you've been paying attention to how this whole thing is unfolding, you can see 50 isn't just making a documentary about Diddy, he's shining a light on an entire system, and Jay-Z's name keeps appearing in that light. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this story is developing fast and you don't want to miss what comes next. New information is dropping almost daily, and we're breaking it all down as it happens. Tony Yayo recently broke down the real issue between 50 and Jay-Z, and it goes back further than most people realize. Hip-hop thrives on competition, egos collide, rivalries fuel creativity, but this is different. Yayo pointed out something that cuts to the core. Jay-Z shows up to corporate events, high-level business gatherings, Super Bowl parties with the elite, but where is he when it comes to hip-hop moments that actually matter to the culture? The artists who built this don't see him. The events that celebrate the foundation rarely have his presence. And for someone like 50 Cent, who stays connected to his roots no matter how high he climbs, that's a problem.
Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like it, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay gotta remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy shit going on.
The Super Bowl halftime show situation perfectly illustrates the tension. Reports surfaced claiming Jay-Z initially didn't want 50 Cent included in the performance. Think about that for a second. One of the biggest names in hip-hop history, someone who defined an entire era, almost got excluded. And it was only after Eminem made it clear he wouldn't perform without 50 that the issue got resolved. That's not logistics, that's not creative differences, that's personal. That's old wounds and unresolved rivalry playing out on the biggest stage in entertainment.
He really didn't want you on the Super Bowl.
Nah, he didn't want me there. I'm happy everything's up.
Crazy. They didn't want you there, huh? No, they didn't want me there.
Cameron once said Jay-Z puts business above culture, and Yayo echoed that exact sentiment. There's a difference between building wealth and staying loyal to what got you there. 50 Cent operates at the same level of power and influence as Jay-Z, but he remains accessible. He shows up. He supports the people who supported him. Success didn't erase his foundation. But with Jay-Z, there's a clear separation, a distance, and that distance is exactly what's making people question where his loyalties actually lie. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, offered a perspective that complicates the narrative even further. He witnessed firsthand the interactions between Jay-Z and Diddy over the years, and according to Gene, the relationship was way closer than anyone is willing to admit now. He pointed to a moment at a show in Atlanta where Diddy invited Jay-Z on stage. The comfort level between them, the familiarity, the body language, it all told a story that contradicted the recent claims of minimal connection. That clip resurfaced after 50 Cent spotlighted it, and it's been circulating ever since, raising questions that nobody can seem to answer satisfactorily.
From your point of view, because I know you heard the statement that, you know, Jay Lawyer came out with about how he wasn't really friends with Diddy. From your point of view, was they really friends or no?
They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, baseball, football, hockey, or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is. And you trying to say that you not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
When Gene was asked if his comments came from personal resentment toward Jay-Z, he shut that down immediately. He referenced a past clash where tensions briefly flared, but explained that people at that level operate differently. They cause situations, create friction, move through intense conflict, and then just carry on like nothing happened. They exist in an atmosphere so far removed from everyday reality that consequences don't touch them the same way. At least they didn't until now. Here's where things get even more intense. Jaguar Wright came forward with allegations that sent the internet into overdrive. She claims Jay-Z is worse than Diddy, not just as bad, worse. She alleged that Jay-Z has done things to women that go beyond what Diddy did to Cassie, and she says she has the scars to prove it. According to Jaguar, Jay-Z attacked her at one point, and like Diddy, he allegedly got it on film.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. Want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. It's gonna be the women that give him in the end.
She's suggesting there's footage out there that could change everything. Now, these are serious claims, and it's important to note they remain unverified. But the fact that she's speaking this openly, with this much detail, is significant. If you're still watching, drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts on everything we've covered so far. Do you think there's truth to these allegations, or is this just industry drama being blown out of proportion? We read every single comment. Jaguar also pointed to the Kathy Corona White situation, which has been whispered about for years but never fully addressed publicly. Reports claim Kathy was Jay-Z's pregnant mistress who passed away suddenly, just 24 hours after she allegedly planned to go public with their relationship and the pregnancy. The official cause was listed as an aneurysm, but Jaguar and others have questioned whether that's the full story. She even suggested that the same coroner involved in other suspicious cases might have been connected. Again, these are allegations and speculation, not confirmed facts, but the questions persist and they're not going away.
The scrutiny Jay-Z is facing now is unprecedented for him. Dame Dash, who was once Jay-Z's closest partner and business ally, recently spoke about how unusual this moment is. In all his years watching Jay-Z navigate the industry, Dame said he's never seen him face this level of public examination. For decades, Jay-Z operated with a level of protection that made him nearly untouchable, especially in mainstream media.
Never heard you say one thing bad about Jay-Z, not one.
He's not in the room. You shouldn't talk about him.
Don't tell me what to do.
You said you shouldn't talk about men when you're not in the room.
You're interrupting me.
Now you're doing the girl
stuff. I know
you
him. I'm giving you an example, right?
You used to know him.
Can I talk? You're upset. Can I talk?
I'm upset.
Can I talk? I've never seen you say one word, because you talk bad about a lot of people, but you never said one time. And you walk around with his face on your chest.
Controversies would surface and somehow just evaporate. Accusations would emerge and get buried. But Dame pointed out that something shifted. That protection is cracking. White media outlets that used to give Jay-Z a pass are now asking hard questions. And the black media figures who typically defend him can't control this narrative the way they used to. Dame made another crucial point. Jay-Z's silence right now is the worst possible strategy if he's innocent. For someone who's built a career on controlling narratives and staying ahead of public perception, the lack of direct communication is striking. His legal team released statements, sure, but Dame emphasized that he hasn't heard Jay-Z himself say anything. No interviews, no direct addresses, just lawyers speaking on his behalf. And in a situation this serious, that distance between Jay-Z and the public feels more suspicious than protective. The legal situation involving his accuser adds another disturbing layer. Even though she dropped her lawsuit, she's made it clear she still stands by her claims. According to new legal documents, she dropped the case not because it was false, but because of harassment and fear. She alleges that investigators working for one of Jay-Z's lawyers approached her outside her home, cornered her, and tried to pressure her into signing an affidavit stating her accusations were false. She refused. These alleged investigators also reportedly asked if her attorney, Tony Busby, had sought her out and offered money to pursue false claims. She denied that too. What terrified her most was how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous throughout media coverage and legal proceedings. Someone tracked her down, someone knew where she lived, and that level of intimidation, whether it came directly from Jay-Z or not, was enough to make her drop the case. She also claims her parents were approached with similar questions. The whole thing left her frightened, wondering how far this would go and what would happen if she continued, so she backed off. But backing off doesn't mean she's recanting. She maintains her story while living in fear of what speaking up might cost her. Industry voices are pointing out that even one serious investigation can send shockwaves far beyond the person directly accused. Anyone closely linked becomes vulnerable. Anyone who was present, who knew things, who stayed quiet, suddenly faces questions about complicity.
And that's exactly why many believe 50's documentary carries so much weight. It's not targeting just one person, it's examining power dynamics across the board, how influence moved, who knew what and when, how people at the highest levels protected each other, and most importantly, how accountability can expand once real scrutiny takes hold.
For years, people questioned how Diddy remained shielded from consequences despite persistent rumors. The answer, according to insiders, was a network of powerful relationships and tightly controlled messaging. But as speculation intensified, reports started surfacing that Diddy might be cooperating with authorities to strengthen his own position. Unconfirmed claims suggest he could be sharing information about others in his circle. If that's true, and it's still a big if, then the concern rippling through the industry makes total sense. Because if Diddy starts talking, who gets named, who gets pulled in, and how far does the chain reaction go? Jaguar Wright didn't hold back when addressing this possibility. She directly called out Jay-Z's connection to Kathy Corona White's death, suggesting that both Diddy and Jay-Z were in Vegas when it happened. She's asking why nobody's talking about it, why the timeline has never been fully examined, and why Jay-Z has never been pressed to explain his connection to a woman who allegedly died under suspicious circumstances right when she was about to expose their relationship. If you've made it this far, you're clearly invested in understanding what's really happening behind the scenes. Make sure you hit that like button and share this video because the algorithm buries content like this and we need your help getting the truth out there. Gene Deal addressed the relationship between Jay-Z and Diddy directly, pushing back against claims from Jay-Z's legal team that suggested they were barely acquaintances. Gene pointed out specific moments that completely contradict that narrative. The Atlanta stage incident, where Diddy patted Jay-Z in a way that showed extreme familiarity. The public statement Diddy made, saying only Jay-Z could call him by his real name, Sean. The fact that they used to joke about their skinny white girls when they'd see each other. All of these details paint a picture of two men who were far closer than anyone is willing to admit now.
Gene also brought up something that makes people deeply uncomfortable but can't be ignored. He talked about how Jay-Z used to come around the block scooping up young girls when he was in his 30s. Gene said at the time nobody realized how old Jay-Z actually was. He kept a clean-cut look, no beard, low fade. He could pass for early 20s. But according to Gene, Jay-Z was dealing with girls who were 16, 17, 18 years old while he was well into his 30s. Gene emphasized that if Jay-Z's own daughter, Blue Ivy, was 15 or 16 and dating someone in their 30s, he wouldn't tolerate it. So why did it happen back then? And why did nobody stop it?
This isn't about judgment from decades later with modern standards. This is about pattern recognition, about understanding that certain behaviors at the highest levels of the industry were normalized, protected, and covered up. And now that people like Gene are speaking openly, those patterns are becoming impossible to deny. Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, added yet another perspective that complicates things further. From his vantage point, Jay-Z and Diddy were never genuinely close. They crossed paths, they moved in the same elite circles, they benefited from shared influence and opportunity, but real loyalty, actual friendship, Roger doesn't believe it existed. He observed Diddy repeatedly going out of his way to support Jay-Z publicly, offering visible backing that was rarely, if ever, matched in return. The dynamic was one-sided. Diddy seemed to think the relationship ran deeper than it actually did, revealing how, at the highest levels, public appearances and assumed alliances can create illusions that don't reflect reality. Dame Dash echoed this imbalance when discussing how Jay-Z operates. He pointed out that Jay-Z has always been about self-preservation first, business over loyalty, image over authenticity. Dame suggested that Jay-Z has a track record of lining people up, taking what they need, and moving on without looking back. He referenced Big L, DeHaven, R. Kelly, and others who allegedly got used and discarded once they were no longer beneficial. And now, with Diddy facing legal catastrophe, Dame believes Jay-Z is doing what he always does, distancing himself, protecting his image, and letting someone else take the fall.
The reason this moment feels different is because the media landscape has shifted. For 25 years, Jay-Z controlled the narrative through relationships with key media figures and outlets. Black media largely gave him a pass because so many people either worked with him or did business with him.
Outlets like The Breakfast Club, hosted by Charlemagne the God, historically defended Jay-Z no matter what. But Dame pointed out that this time, white mainstream media isn't giving him that same protection. People Magazine, Entertainment Tonight, outlets that used to treat Jay-Z as untouchable are now running critical coverage, and that's unprecedented. The question Dame keeps asking is why now? What changed? Why is the protection falling away after all these years? Is it because the Diddy situation is too big to contain? Is it because enough people are finally speaking up that the wall of silence can't hold? Or is it something else entirely, a strategic shift happening behind the scenes that we're only seeing the surface of? Tony Yayo broke down the fundamental difference between 50 Cent and Jay-Z in a way that resonates deeply with longtime hip-hop fans. He explained that 50 remains approachable despite his massive success. You can still meet him, he still connects with people, he didn't forget the foundation that built him. When Yayo was locked up, 50 put aside money from every show, eventually accumulating over $1 million to support him. That's loyalty, that's remembering where you came from. Yayo contrasted that with Jay-Z, who operates on a completely different plane. High-level business, corporate events, billionaire circles. But where's the connection to the people who made him? Where's the presence at hip-hop moments that matter? Yayo referenced a conversation he had with someone from Interscope, rest in peace, who told him that 50 does more for his artists than anyone else in the industry, more than Jay-Z, more than anybody. That speaks volumes. Because success at that level isn't just about accumulating wealth, it's about what you do with that power, who you lift up, and whether you stay loyal to the culture that gave you everything.
The documentary 50 released isn't just about exposing Diddy, it's about examining an entire system of power, influence and protection that has operated in the shadows for decades. It's about asking why certain people face consequences while others walk away untouched. It's about understanding that proximity to power doesn't equal innocence, and silence doesn't mean you weren't involved. The connections between Jay-Z and Diddy, whether people want to acknowledge them or not, are undeniable. The timelines align in ways that raise serious questions. The patterns of behavior, the allegations from multiple sources, the convenient distance Jay-Z maintains whenever controversy erupts around people he was once close to, all of it adds up to something that can't be ignored anymore. What's happening right now is a reckoning, not just for Diddy, not just for Jay-Z, but for an entire power structure that has protected certain figures while allowing others to be destroyed. The documentary has already changed the conversation. It's forcing people to examine relationships, timelines, and behaviors they previously accepted without question. And as more people speak up, as more information surfaces, the narrative that Jay-Z has carefully maintained for decades is starting to crumble. Dame Dash made one final point that cuts to the heart of everything. If Jay-Z is innocent, his silence is the worst possible move. He needs to let people ask him questions. He needs to speak directly, not through lawyers and publicists. He needs to explain himself in his own words. Because right now, the silence feels like an admission, the distance feels like guilt, and the protection he's relied on for so long is no longer strong enough to shield him from the scrutiny that's finally, after all these years, catching up. This isn't over. The investigation is ongoing. More people are speaking, more connections are being examined, and for the first time in Jay-Z's career, he's facing a level of accountability that he can't simply walk away from. The question now isn't whether the truth will come out, it's how much will be revealed, who else will be implicated, and whether the industry's most untouchable figure can survive what's coming next. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are these allegations credible, or is this a coordinated attack? Do you believe Jay-Z's silence is strategic or suspicious? And what do you think happens next? Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with anyone who needs to see it. We'll keep covering this story as it develops, breaking down every new piece of information that surfaces. Stay informed, stay critical, and don't let anyone tell you that certain people are too powerful to be held accountable. This video presents allegations, claims, and speculation from various sources, including Jaguar Wright, Gene Deal, Dame Dash, Roger Bonds, Tony Yayo, and others.
Many of these claims remain unverified and should be viewed as allegations rather than established facts. We encourage viewers to conduct their own research and form their own conclusions. This content is intended for commentary, education, and discussion purposes. Nothing in this video should be considered legal advice or definitive proof of wrongdoing. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent until proven otherwise in a court of law. Some claims discussed involve rumors and speculation that have circulated online and in media reports but have not been independently verified.